Okay, welcome everybody. Let's talk about what's going on in the marketplace today. We'll look at the weekly. We'll look at my trade. We'll look at the daily chart and intraday charts. Okay, so let's get started with this. This is the S&P 500 futures. This is the weekly chart. We are at, let's see, I think we're still trading futures here, which are going to close really soon. They're just kind of tracking sideways here. For the last 20 or 30 minutes of the day. So I don't think we're going to see much price change from right here. So somewhere in this area is going to be the close on the futures for the day, 53.12 and a quarter. Obviously the all-time high was last week, 53.22, but we're only 10 points away from that. So I think we just got Thursday and Friday left of this week. Let me just check my phone real quick. Yep. Thursday, Friday of this week. So I could see that getting eclipsed and going to all-time highs again. So we'll just see what happens for Thursday and Friday, but I'm pretty sure we're going to hit all-time new highs again this week. And we'll continue to watch if there's any kind of decent support forming. So far, this is pretty much it. Still 51.69. That's kind of far away, right? I mean, you can see how we had at least two candlesticks here to form. There was approximately three candlesticks there. You had approximately two there. You got two there. You usually get two candlesticks that kind of make these supports. But now, this is the last two that occurred. And we have to see what this week and next week bring. There could be another support up in here, maybe like something like that. Okay, but right now, the support is way down here. So that's pretty good gap. Or I should say distance or range between these two. So the rest of this week and next week, it may help form another support on the weekly chart. Here are the dates down here. They're kind of hidden a little bit. Let me just pull them up a touch. You got March 31st there and June 16th. March 31st low. Again, today being what, the 20, what's today, 26, 27? Today is the 27th. Yeah, don't think that's going to happen. Right, we're only talking 4 days away. And I think it falls on a Monday or Tuesday. So this doesn't look very promising as far as any kind of cycle low. Probably not going to happen. If it does, it's going to be very, very, well, see, this could be the week of. There could be something there, maybe. But it doesn't look very promising right now, right? If there was any kind of pullback coming into this week, it probably would have already started. So that's not too much going on there. Still got the June 16th cycle low over here. Of course, I'm going to keep it there for now. I think it's still valid, but with this runaway economy, runaway stock market, who knows what's going to happen? And, I actually, there's going to be runaway commodities. Now, I do still think we're going to get a pullback, at some point in the stock market. A pretty decent sized pullback here. But, I mean, we're not even close out of the woods. And I'm not trying to paint gloom and doom picture. I'm just calling it like I see it. I think we're going to see some runaway commodities, okay, around the world. I think they're not going to recover. They're like, we have a little brief period here where they, things seem like they've calmed down, but prices are still very elevated. I talked about this, I think, last week. Food prices are still. I can just go to the grocery store. If you don't know anything about commodities, just look at the grocery store. A lot of that soybeans and grains and stuff like that, right? And flour and cattle, those are all commodities. So commodities are inherently found in a grocery store, or at least some of them. So if food prices are high, that tells you commodities on the whole are just high. They haven't come down. They're still high. Food is still crazy expensive. Crazy expensive. I tried to buy a little bag of just like those seedless white grapes, green grapes, I guess, whatever. They were like $7 for like a small little, like one handful or a little more than a handful in a bag. Like $7. I can remember they were like $1.50, $1.80, $2. So they've like doubled or tripled in price, just in the last few years. So commodities, I think, are doesn't matter what the Federal Reserve does. Their little lending rate, little manipulation back and forth, it ain't gonna. they got nothing. They don't have any power. Changing the lending rate isn't gonna do anything. I'm telling you right now. They can yank that lending rate up and down, sideways, backwards, in and out, up, down, whatever they want to do. It is not going to solve the problem. It is never going to get rid of the $35 trillion in debt that we're looking at in the United States of America. Forget about it. And I'm not trying to be a gloom and doom guy. I'm just saying their little lending rate joke that they think they're doing some good doesn't mean anything. It's total baloney. They got nothing. They got nothing. They helped create this problem, and they're not going to get out of it. So anyway, that's kind of my quick down and dirty. I think we're going to see runaway commodities. Even if the stock market pulls back, I think commodities are just going to go to the moon. Gold is like blazing. There's a little pullback going on with gold right now, but I don't think it's going to last. Gold is going to take off, most likely. Gold is going to, and what does that tell you? Money's rotating into gold. Gold has probably got a real good chance of blasting off to just going to continue to hit new all-time new highs. The stock market eventually is going to give it up at some point. Who knows when? But this just looks like, to me, kind of runaway stuff. When you see this kind of stuff just keeps going on and on and on, not a good sign. All right, let's move over to my trade for the day. All right, here's my trade for the day, $225. Really didn't do a whole lot of trading today. After commissions, I didn't make a lot of money here, whatever it was, $150, $175, kind of overtraded a little bit. But made at least some money today. I was busy. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. The transition from TD Ameritrade to Charles Schwab, because Charles Schwab acquired TD Ameritrade, they're kind of getting into the weeds now, doing transitions. And I'm not just talking about individual retail accounts. I'm talking about moving all their servers and everything. It's not going well. It is not going. It's not going well. They screwed up on a data feed for gold the other day. I noticed. They screwed up on the alerts. They basically now shut down alerts by email because they can't fix it, I guess. It's been like more than a week. They've been trying to work on it. Still not working. So I noticed today alerts were basically almost completely shut down. And they've been really late about getting the TOS platform up on Sunday afternoons. I mean, it's just, yeah. Charles Schwab is in a world of hurt. I knew this acquisition was going to be bad. They're a horrible company. Charles Schwab, totally terrible. They're stuck in the 1990s. I put out a video earlier today. You might want to go back and watch it. I did an honest review on them. It's like a half an hour long, but it's a really good video. I just talk about a lot of things that I noticed. I'm a former software developer. I'm still kind of got, my feet still in the software development world, half in, half out. And I've been through some acquisitions myself, and I can spot the problems a mile away. And they got some big problems over there. And they're screwing the pooch on this, excuse my language, but they're messing up pretty bad. And I don't think it's going to get much better. So there's a lot of things going on. I'm, in transition that aren't very healthy. But anyway, here's so I've been dealing with that. That's kind of my point. So here's my trades for the day. $225, maybe like I said, $175 after commission. And, we just move on to the next day, right? Okay, let's go take a look at the daily chart. All right, here we are on the daily chart. And we've got a big green candlestick today. The range, well, I shouldn't say big green candlestick, but it was big compared to the last few days. A range of 43. So there it is right there. Let me just see something real quick. Yeah, 64, 43. I'm just making sure Schwab is actually delivering the data, right? With as bad as their acquisitions going. You have to spot check them. Okay. Range of 43. Right there. So pretty decent day, a big update. Not surprised. I mean, data from yesterday said the market should be down. Let me just kind of throw something in here on a side tangent. I don't think the markets are trading organically or naturally. It's just not a free market. And I can tell it's not. It's like the market's way off. It's not just because it's on an endless bull run, I mean, that's kind of part of it. This runaway economy thing, I believe, that's going on. But I can also tell the market's not trading like a free market. I can tell by the data that it's not. So anyways, but what we are in is your typical little mini bull flags that just going up higher, and that's fine. We just keep trading, making money. So this is not a surprise at all. A little 2 or 3 down and a bounce, right? Little 2 or 3 down bounce. You see this, I've just been talking about this for the last couple of weeks because it's the same pattern, right? You just a little to down, it's just the same pattern over and over. There was one right here and it went up. So the stair step up scenario keeps going on. And I've been telling my members at night, hey, the data says I told them last night in last night's email, that the data is showing the market should pull back, but just be aware that we're stair stepping up, that the market has got that pattern going on. So you need to be aware of it. I noticed that on the hourly chart that the hourly cycle was I shouldn't say out of sync, but it changed today. I kind of put a warning on the Discord server, hey, the 2 o'clock cycle low looks like it's not going to happen. And it didn't. And we had exactly the opposite. The market went up almost all-time new highs. So it looks like, just based on what I'm seeing here, there's going to be a kind of a support in, approximately in this area. This is close enough. We're going to say it's 52.63 right there, 52.70. So let's call it 7 points, almost 8. So we could do 4. So we'll say this is like 67, right? So let me just copy this. We'll just call this 67. We'll do a little duplicate here. We'll slam it up in here like this. And then let me clear the screen, get that junk out of there. And then we'll duplicate this. We'll just use this label here. Okay, so yeah, this is about 67. So we're looking at 52.67, right? 52.67. Let's do that right now, right? So we get this right. 52.67, and then we'll also change this to 52.67 just to be accurate here. Whoops. Okay, so there's the new support. We just keep tacking on the supports until one day this thing crashes and pulls back, and then we'll know where all the supports are at, right? All right. April 14th, yep, still there. Just looking at the cycle lows here on the daily chart. Not a whole lot to go on for cycle lows because the market's just blasting through every cycle low there ever was for like the last year. But there's a little something going back there, something going back there. There was a little something right there. And I can't really say this cycle low happened. We could say maybe it was right here a little late, I suppose. This is probably what it is. Just running a little late there, which is unusual. Or it could be this one that's running early. And early is more likely what it is, because when you get into very bullish conditions, cycle lows tend to happen early. So that's the best I can come up with. This ultra, to the moon, extreme bullish condition. It's cycle lows are kind of hard to identify, but that's pretty much. I think this is kind of okay still, as I just kind of look at this and see what the market's doing. So I'm going to keep April 14th and the 7th there for now. And this one's out here at May 30th. We can go ahead and put one there. Put that over there for now. We'll keep an eye on this to see if things change. So that's May 30th. Okay. All right, let's swing over to the intraday charts and talk about that. This is the 15-minute chart we're looking at today for the intraday chart. Last night on the hourly chart, which I'm not going to show that because that's usually reserved for members. It has the cycles and everything on there. But last night, coming right out of the end of the day, close for futures, it was pretty obvious. There was an hourly signal there that the market was going to go up. And you can see it it definitely went up all through the night, all the way to like 8:15 this morning, 8:30. Then we had this pullback. So that was pretty obvious for members. You want to obviously keep an eye on the hourly chart. Now here on the 15-minute chart, as far as the best trade of the day is really right here. Okay, this happened at 10:15 this morning. And at least today we had something a little better than just like 5 hours of chop. It was still kind of choppy because you can see that it stayed for the most part. Let's see, till about right here. It stayed within a 10-point range, right in this rectangle from about, 9:15 all the way to 1 o'clock. So you still get all this, just past opening bell, like after, 9:30, whatever. 9:15. It was open about 45 minutes, I guess. Yeah. So about 45 minutes after the opening bell, all the way to like 1 o'clock, it was just basically, not very good, just a bit of a chop fest in here. And then the market got a little bit lively, and instead of having the 2 o'clock cycle low, which when I saw the hourly chart, the SMI was like way down here. I said, oh, we're not going to get a 2 o'clock cycle low. That's why I mentioned to the members on the server. And then this thing went to the moon. Nice opportunity, obviously, right? But this was really the trade of the day right there on the 15-minute chart. I mean, this thing was sweet. So 10:15, you can see that SMI is buried, right? We got some negative momentum going on here. A little while later, starts barely making its way up, right? This was a really good trade. You had to be a little patient. Eventually, it makes good, makes great, right? You can just, if you kind of just draw a diagonal, even if it only did that, you still made a lot of money right here. That's probably about 8 to 10 points in this area here. And then it went crazy. It went 20, 30 points, more than 30 points. Yeah, let's call it 30. A good 30 points. So we're down here to the last 15 minutes of the day, maybe the last 5 minutes of the day. This is very typical, by the way. Let's see, what time is it right now? Usually like the last 5 minutes of the market. Yeah, market just closed. So the market just closed just now, and this is very typical. If we look at the 5-minute chart, you'll often see a red candlestick right at the end of the day. A little red candlestick. I've made like 2 or 3 points worth of, or a point and a half, sometimes like this. 2 points worth of profit at the end of the day, because this is a little trick they do. Right? They pull the market back. Anytime you get this massive run up, you almost get a red candle. Not always, but you'll often get a red candlestick at the last candlestick on the 5-minute chart. Now, even though this is a 15-minute chart, if we switch over to the 5-minute chart, you'll see it there too, obviously. Right? See, there they are. There it is. So what I do is, right at the 3:55 time mark, I just take the trade if they open. And I just wait. And I'm almost inevitably, like this candlestick right here was 2 1/4. Now, some people think that's like crazy with such a small candlestick, but you know, if your account's big enough, you'll make $100 right here. Okay. You'll make $100, right? You'll make $100, $150, $200, $300, whatever your position size is. I've done it several times. It's like you just have to understand what the market's doing, and they do this little nonsense at the end. So that's something I throw in there. Doesn't always happen, but on really bullish days like this, if it ends bullish, look for that. That last candlestick or two on futures will often be this little 1 or 2 red candlesticks. So after you make all this money, just wait it out and you can make a little bit more change right there. Okay, if you want to become a member, there's a discord.com link in the description just below this video on YouTube. Just read the instructions carefully before you join. Once you've done that, you can click on the discord.com link. It's going to bring you over to this Get a Server. Then click on Server Shop. And here, this page will come up, $7.99 a month. This is a really good price. I mean, the value for this price is nuts. You got streaming charts down here. The 5-minute, the 15-minute, the 1-hour charts, which we looked at both the 5-minute and the 15-minute today. I mean, you saw the Get Us Plus indicator recommending a trade there, I think at 10:15 this morning, which was really bang on. So that's what you get with the charts, is a Get Us Plus indicator. On the hourly chart, you get the cycles as well. Also, you get streaming charts for gold. So when you join, you can click down here and get the streaming charts for S&P 500. But just ask me and say, hey, get us, where's the link for for gold? And I'll give you the link for the gold server. You can watch if you want to watch the gold server stream live. You can. That's gold futures. That's really nice. In fact, we've had a few members that have been watching it every day now. They're on there and they're watching gold. They trade gold, so that's great. In addition to the streaming charts, the alerts for the S&P 500 are here. So when the Get Us Plus indicator thinks there's a good trade, it'll send an alert over here, okay? And the same thing for gold from the streaming, that server that streams the gold. So 2 streaming products and alerts that go along with it. There's some other alerts here as well. These don't have streaming charts, but you can still get the alerts. Currently, right now, at this exact moment, Schwab's acquisition of TD Ameritrade is not going well, and the alerts have been put on hold because they don't know what they're doing. But hopefully they get it solved and get it spun back up. I'll just keep an eye on it. There's nothing I can do about it. Schwab does not have a good track record for customer support, and their software is, like, as I mentioned earlier in this video, stuck in the 1990s. So they're acquiring TD Ameritrade to try to get current on the latest tech, because they know that TO's platform is very, very popular. but they're screwing everything up in the process. And they should just left it alone, But anyways, so that's what's going on with the alerts. We'll just have to wait to see if they can get their act together on that. Premium symbols are in here. You might want to look at those. Really, really nice. I put premium symbols in here Monday through Thursday. Okay, I have a logic that scans for symbols, and I put the symbols in there. I think I'm trying to think what I saw in there today. I think I saw the US dollar in there today, and I think copper, E-mini copper was in there. Okay, and there's obviously some symbols in there for optionable stocks and other symbols, so you might want to check it out. Okay, the Get Us Only post channel, this is where I post a link for this video I'm doing right now. So every day after the markets are closed, I'll put the link for this video in there. You can go in and you can watch the video right in this channel, or you can click on it and take it to YouTube and watch it there. It's fine. Either way is your choice. And I also post the nightly email whenever it goes out. I let all the members know in this channel that the emails have gone out. So that's the channel you want to keep track of, especially after the market's closed. You can even turn alerts on there too if you want. Or notifications, I'm sorry. Just right click on the channel and it'll say notifications. You can just click them to all. And you're going to know anything I post in there is probably something you want to pay attention to. Speaking of the nightly emails, when you join, you can put your email address in the emails only channel. I'll pick it up and you're going to get a daily chart of the S&P 500. And on that chart is the cycles, the daily cycles, as well as support and resistance lines. Okay, really nice. A lot of people join they just want the email. They want to, and I usually give a couple of sentences of my opinion about what I think the market's going to do the next day. Which you almost never see that, right? I've yet to come across a service that says this is what we think tomorrow's going to do in the market, because everybody's afraid to do it. No one wants to be wrong, So I do it, and I'm usually right. Not always, but usually right. Today I was off about the hourly cycle low, but I did mention to the members, even though the data shows that we're going to be going, the data says we're going to go down, that there's a stair-step behavior going on in the stock market, so be aware of it. So that's how I do it, right? I just keep it straight and simple, so at least members know my opinion about what I think the market's going to do. So I do that every day. Every day I give my opinion about what I think the next day is going to do. I mean, it's a rare occasion that I don't say something about tomorrow. Like if I absolutely just don't have any sense for the market, then I won't put it in there, but usually I do. Okay, I do keep track of solar activity. I recently actually predicted an earthquake, which happened within a few days after my prediction. So that was, not that I like predicting earthquakes, because that could be pretty rough on a lot of lives, but yep. And I also keep track of solar activity for other reasons that affect the world as a whole. Fixed income, I trade corporate bonds occasionally, so if I do that, you'll see them in there. And then these two channels are where we do basically most of the chat. So just think about this. Everything in this big old rectangle. You're getting the two streaming charts, right? Those for the S&P 500, for gold. You're getting the alerts that go with those streaming charts. You're getting premium symbols Monday through Thursday. Okay, you're getting the video that I do every day, reviewing the market. Okay, you get the nightly email, which usually I try to forecast the next day. Okay, and you've got chat, right? That's a lot going on for $7.99. Okay, it's a really good deal. It amazes me that people won't pony up $8 when they could be making money. My honest opinion is, if you just take your time and not be in a hurry, you're going to make money in the market. Okay. Let's talk about the rules. We got to talk about the rules. And here's a disclaimer that I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, I do not give financial advice. Everything on this server, I don't care who's posting it, me or anybody else, is strictly educational purposes only, okay? You are responsible for your own trades. No financial advice is implied whatsoever, okay? Yes, I believe that this service is going to help you become a better trader if you're patient enough, right? But you're still responsible for your own trades, okay? Also in here is rules about being nice to everybody else. Okay, don't post nasty pictures, don't post nasty language. Okay, look, it's a conservative server. I'm a Christian, so don't post leftist garbage and Democrat garbage on here. Yes, you can join. There's no rule saying you can't join, but just keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear it on this server. If you do, I'm going to warn you. Okay, and if it gets really bad, I'm going to kick you and ban you if it gets really, really bad. Okay, so just be respectful of everybody else. We're going to get along great. Also, and here's a refund rule. Please read the refund rule, okay? And lastly, I want to talk about, there are spam and scam and imposter accounts that jump on the server. They're like really difficult to deal with. They usually come from China, okay, but they can be from anywhere in the world, and they'll pose themselves as me, as Giddis, and they'll start putting out, hey, come click here and click on this link, and just be super careful. I never ever direct message or DM my members. Never. The only time that ever happens is if they ask me to do a friend request, and then we might chat like that occasionally. Okay, but I never actively DM anybody. So if you're getting a DM from anybody, that's, especially if this says it's Giddis, it ain't from me. So be super, super careful, because these guys are super clever, right? What they've done is they've created probably like a desktop app or a web app using Discord's API, and they're accessing the server directly without having to even come into a channel, and they're DMing people. So they don't even show up. Usually when someone comes onto the server, they'll show up in the general channel. If they do that, I can just ban them. But what these guys are doing is they're leveraging the Discord API, okay, and they're getting around having to actually come onto the server. They're just grabbing probably somehow getting the members list and then directly DMing people through their own app. You follow me? They're not even using Discord. That's kind of complicated stuff. It's software developer stuff. A lot of people probably don't know what I'm talking about, but that's probably what's happening. So I'm just mentioning that because it's really difficult to control these people. And Discord is allowing, with their stupid new rules, they put out this new thing that in the last few months where you can pick any name you want, even if somebody else has picked the same name. So there's they can say they're Giddis, right? They're what I call the front-facing name, the name that everybody sees, right? They'll see Giddis like that, but underneath on the profile, it might be like dot. Like I had a Chinese scammer come on the server today. It'll be like Giddis with 2 S's and another dot and some Chinese letters, okay? It'll be something like that. And what they'll do is they'll come in and spam, some of the members, and then they'll disable this, delete this account. So even, I can't get to them. It's really hard to ban people that are not on the server, but there's a way to do it. But what they do is they come in, they use this name, they use a front-facing name that looks like this. Everybody thinks it's me. Most people are smart enough to figure out that it's a scam and a spam, but you just be super careful, okay? Discord needs to get their act together. I mean, I don't know what's going on. You got Charles Schwab screwing everything up with the acquisition of TD Ameritrade. You got Discord, who thought some management team thought it was a brilliant idea to allow people to have to have the same name. What kind of stupidness is that? It's like, oh my gosh, really dumb decision. So I'm dealing with the fallout of that. All right, so just be careful. I'm mentioning that here. All right, I think that pretty much covers it. Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. We'll talk to all real soon again next time.